the Balls Podcast
with Mark Davis, Kriska Meinhardt, Luke Rule, Jake Winnikine, Alan Tomasella, and Nick the Doc Skirkle. That's right. It is all about the Balls Podcast. I'm Mark Davis. That right there with that beautiful bird on his chest is Luke Rule. And tonight we are here on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be later on Spotify and Apple Podcasts when we release the video tonight to talk about the NFL draft. Luke, we are 22 days away. Tonight we're talking about our favorite position group, the running backs of this year's draft class, also the pass catchers to include tight ends. So, Luke, we're 22 days away, just a little over 3 weeks away. How excited are you, and how excited are you to talk about running backs and the pass catchers?
Yeah, man, I'm real excited about it. I mean, not so much for like the Ravens, but just watching the draft is pretty crazy. Ravens, you know, as we said like last week, we're pretty far back in the draft as usual, so we don't have that top 10 or top 15 hype that a lot of you guys have. But it is also fun to watch which team's going to really fuck it up. So,
yeah, I mean, I don't know this year if we're going to get that same kind of like. I mean, I guess Falcons last year at the court because there's so many quarterbacks that were going off and what we did with Kirk. I don't know this year where would the fuck up be position wise? Where would the fuck up be? Would it be like the Jaguars where they take someone crazy? Would it be New England doing something crazy? Would the crazy controversial be Shedeur Sanders falling? I think you or Chris mentioned that today about Adam Schefter talking about the Browns and the Giants potentially out on quarterback at least in the first round. So that could be the story is where does Shedeur fall? And then where do these running backs look? Well, hey, if there's a receiver there at 27, would you be okay with the receiver? Like if maybe one of these guys falls, like a Buka or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on who it is, but I don't think the Ravens go receiver in the first, anyways. I think we got bigger needs than that, but you know, Ravens' MO is take best player available, so that's what they'll do. Hopefully there's one of these pass rushers falls or one of these cornerbacks or safety. I think it's the way we lean, or interior lineman.
But. Well, look, let's dive into today's position group. We're going to start with the running backs. And a couple weeks ago, we did that mock draft. Myself, you, Chris, and Jake. Jake said something very interesting, and I've been seeing it around where Ashton Jeanty, should he be the number one running back of this class? Is he the number one running back of this class, or will he even be like when it's all said and done? So I'm going to ask you, Luke, is Ashton Jeanty, in your opinion, the number one running back of this 2025 NFL draft class?
Oh, yeah. I mean, by far he is. I mean, maybe not by far, but he'll be one of probably two running backs drafted in the first round, and I think he's worth it. I don't know if you guys see his pro day or some of like the clips from that. Dude's a lot bigger than I thought he was. Like
he put on some muscle, look like.
Yeah, he looked jacked. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like him. He's got, while watching some of his like highlights and stuff, like he doesn't really get hit a lot at the line of scrimmage. I think he had a good O-line that helped him out a little bit. So if he goes to a bad situation, I mean, because he's got size, speed, and all that. I don't think he ran a 40. I don't think I saw 40 time from him.
Well, you mentioned the weight thing. It's like one thing's like he's 5'9". Like he's a shorter back, but if he has that muscle, okay, maybe that changes where like a lot of people think he's on a short line, kind of like goal, like get a couple of yards. Like you have to get a couple of yards. He's gonna power through. If he looks like that and he's added weight, Luke, I don't know. That might change where he could be the guy that on a first and goal at the 2-yard line, we need that touchdown powered in.
Yeah, they got him listed here at 5'9", 215. So I mean, it's solid size.
But that weight,
he's powerful.
He looked jacked up.
Yeah, he got his knock was like his last season was he was not a big pass catcher, and I saw somebody talking about it earlier today that they think Boise State was kind of stat padding him, just handing him the ball because they're trying to beat Barry Sanders' record. So, which is possible because the year prior he had quite a few passes he caught. And this last year, he was pretty much hand the ball off and give it to him, which worked a lot for them this season, pretty much all the way up until the Penn State game.
I will say another thing too, so going back to that, obviously being at Boise State, the talent at Boise State is not the same talent that like a Mario Hampton or like the Ohio State running backs have out there. I will say yes, in his career against the bigger schools, I mean, even UCF, he played UCF, I think, in 2023. He didn't have a big stat game. Now, Oregon, I'll give him that. He went crazy. Okay, he had 100 yards against Penn State, but like I said, only averaged like 3.5 yards a carry. That's not a lot. So I will say that's the one knock. But if you put him in the situation of Ohio State and North Carolina and Miami, things like that, would he have the same success he has as these other guys? And I think he would. I think he would have that success because you have more talent around you blocking for you. It's harder when you're playing.
But they also playing tougher talent too. So, I mean, yeah, you give or take a little bit. I think he would have been more rotated out if he played a bigger school too. So if he played like at Ohio State or Georgia or Alabama, he probably been rotating a lot more instead of being that every down back that he was at Boise State, just because the amount of talent those big time schools have at the running back position.
I do think he is an every down back. I know, like you said, his catching his route tree wasn't wide. Like it wasn't a wide a variety. He has good hands, but he's just, like I said, it's just not a very wide route tree. Yeah. And that could be the style that Boise State runs too.
Didn't get to see a lot of it last year. This is probably the biggest knock on him. You didn't see a lot of it, but I mean, he could potentially be that pass catcher out of the backfield. I mean, he did it 2 seasons ago, pretty well, but we'll see. We'll see if the NFL catches up to him or not. I mean, I don't know what I see. Most of the mocks have him going to the Raiders.
I was going to ask you, what's the earliest you see he would go?
Yeah, the Raiders would be the first one I see. I forgot what pick they are.
6. They're number 6.
Yeah, 6. Then after that, it's wide open. I think if he falls past 6, somebody might trade up and go get him. Or
the Bears at 10.
Falls to the Bears.
Yeah. Ben Johnson likes those running backs.
Or the Saints grab him? I don't know.
Yeah, Saints could use him and let him and AK go a year or so together, until Alvin Kamara is kind of done with the team. I mean, he's getting a little older in the age group for Alvin Kamara. I mean,
he's been banged up quite a bit too.
Yeah, and it's crazy because like I said, I think if he's there at 10, Ben Johnson's going to go because Ben Johnson with Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery, we saw what that was. I mean, you get DeAndre Swift with Ashton Jeanty. And then down the road, okay, who's going to be the guy when Swift starts to slow down? I don't know. I like him in Chicago. I think that would be explosive for him.
Chicago just rebuilt that O-line, so hopefully it's better. So you put him behind a good O-line. I mean, he'll feast. I mean, he's a good running back. He's elusive. He can get around guys. Doesn't seem like he takes a lot of hits, or he doesn't really have to shed a lot of hits. But I mean, it's just he's good at run the football. I mean.
And if he's in Chicago, he'd have a chance, Luke. I shared that photo. Caleb Williams is a check down merchant. So he would have opportunities to catch the ball out there at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that is true.
That's according to that stat that just popped. I mean, I was like, damn, these NFL's coming out with some.
They're bored right now.
They are. Yeah, these are some advanced stats.
They're bored.
Luke, the guy that I thought, if we had Jake in here, I thought he was going to mention would be Mario Hampton as the guy that maybe could be that running back one. And, his last 2 years at North Carolina, very stellar, and the year before that, pretty good. 3 years ago was pretty good. Mario Hampton to me is the number 1 or the number 2 running back here. I think he is in that tier, maybe just right, but same tier, but just right below Ashton Jeanty. He's a dog. I mean, he is amazing. He's a very downhill runner. He can go around the corner. He has that breakaway speed. He can be reckless at times. It's like he tries to get hit. Like he leaves his feet for no reason at times. But that's coachable. You can coach that out of that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't watch too much of the North Carolina during the season, so but the clips I've seen of him, he's a pretty physical running back. Tough. He's big. He's 6'1", 220. That's a pretty big running back. So he can see the defense over his offensive line. So I mean, he's got all the physical traits to be a top tier running back coming out.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, he's a pretty big back. Sometimes his breakaway speed isn't the best, but I mean, if you're just getting him far out there, that's pretty good. I mean, he's 6 foot 220, Luke, like you said. I mean, his career with North Carolina, he was a freak. I mean, he honestly was. Yeah, maybe his contact balance isn't the best where, he starts to get hit. He can kind of shaking a little bit. But I don't know. I think he's going to be in the top 20. I don't think he gets past Denver.
Ooh.
I'm telling
you. I think Denver could take him. Denver's going to go either, I think, running back or wide receiver, depending on who's still available.
Yeah, that's true. I think if Hampton's gone, they are going to go wide receiver. I really do. I just think they don't have a true running back. I mean, I know Estimi's there, McLaughlin's there, but those guys, they are not They're not the guys. They're not Mario Hamptons. They're not the Ash Genties of this class. So I think Mario Hampton is going to be a difference maker. He could be the best running back in this class when it's all said and done because he's probably going to go to a better situation than Genty.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be a little further down the draft, I assume, unless somebody like falls in love with him and goes up the draft board to get him. But I don't see that happening for running backs. Usually, it doesn't really happen. People trading up in the first for one, but unless he's that guy. But,
They played with Drake May too his last year in North Carolina.
I think this running back class is so stacked. I think it's going to hurt a lot of these guys' draft stock anyways. That teams will wait because they can get somebody at pretty much the same talent level almost a round or two later. So I mean, it might hurt some of these guys' draft stock just because there's so many options this year at the running back position.
Yeah, I can't wait to. I'm telling you, these two names though, Hampton and Genty, they're off.
A lot of teams better get some studs this year at running back.
Well, speaking of studs, and Luke, these two running backs, when it was pitched for this guy to come from Ole Miss to Ohio State, Ryan Day mentioned, hey, the Detroit Lions are doing this with Gibbs and Montgomery, and they told Henderson, hey, this could be the same situation. Luke, how do you feel about these two Ohio State running backs? You have Travion Henderson. He's been to Ohio State for 4 years. He had a couple injury history years in 22 and 23 when he's the workhorse. Good freshman year, really good. And then last year with Junkins was good. And then you have Junkins, 2 good years at Ole Miss, transfers to Ohio State, and he has another 1,000-yard season with Henderson.
Yeah, I mean, what Ohio State did with having two running backs that'll probably go at least day 2 picks, I would assume. It's really good to have 2 running backs in the same draft class that are both top-tier running backs in this class. So, I mean, Ohio State, they stacked team, they won the national championship, so what do you expect? Yeah, they can run the ball, they can throw the ball, so they didn't – some team couldn't just sell out to stop these 2 guys. They had to cover the pass, too.
You have Buka out there.
Ohio State's got those top-tier wide receivers and that true freshman.
Jeremiah Smith, yeah. They're saying if he was in this class, he'd be the number 1 pick as a freshman.
So, I mean, I think teams might have been a little more scared of the receivers on the running backs, and that opened up a lot for them. I'm not too huge on these guys.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm a little shaky.
I'm not huge on them. I'm like, if you get them like third or fourth round, not a wasted pick if they don't turn out. But I'm not huge on them.
They were a little inconsistent. Like in the middle of the season, they had like roller coaster weeks where like the yards per carry wasn't there. Even in the playoff, the yards weren't there. Now Junkins and Henderson, they both had big catches. Henderson had one against that 75-yard string against Texas. Now, in my opinion, okay, he ran it back, but that was very bad defense by Texas. And the O-line, all you had to do was just get the linebackers, and they were gone. Like, there was so much space for Henderson. Once he hit that one hole, I mean, he was gone with his speed. Junkins had some good catches throughout the playoffs as well. The championship, he had a big catch against the Irish. But, like, it's so weird because they were so back and forth. Not saying I hate these guys. I don't have a good feel on them. Like, I just don't know how they're going to transition into the next level. And that's my situation with them. I think Junkins is a beast. I like him better than Henderson. Henderson.
Junkins another big running back, 6 foot, 220.
But Henderson's getting most of the talk to it. They're saying Henderson is the higher of the two.
Yeah, I was kind of underwhelmed with Junkins' season, just like all the hype, the off-season hype that was coming with him when he transferred from Ole Miss. Because Lane Kiffin told him to get the fuck out. Lane said get the fuck out, and he did. So, and so he had all the hype because he was supposed to be like one of the top running backs like this year, and it just didn't seem like he lived up to what the hype was. I mean, still great season, but I don't think he lived quite up to the hype, and probably hurt his draft stock just a little bit, especially being probably the number 2 running back on his team.
Another thing with these two is, which it can be good, but like a lot of times they're just too fancy. Like they're trying to be too patient. They're trying to be too cute in the backfield, and they get bottled up. I mean, when they hit the hole and they go to the corner with like determination and confidence, they're good. But when they try and get like too much like Le'Veon Bell, like how Le'Veon Bell was, that worked for him. But I feel like they try and do that at times, and it just doesn't work. Sometimes you just got to take the couple yards rather than losing a couple yards. Sometimes 2 yards is better than – it's better than nothing, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like Le'Veon Bell is kind of like a one-off with that. He's like the only running back that could really literally stand there and wait, then hit the hole. I think Le'Veon Bell's like acceleration was what helped him out with that.
Because I do think
dude got up to speed quick.
And I do think Henderson, though, like what's going to help him out of these two is his big plays. Like he's a big play guy. He has been his whole career when he was healthy. when he was the main starter, even his freshman year. He's a big play running back. So that I think teams are going to look at that. I do think Henderson's going to be the third running back off the board. I don't think Luke they're going rounds 3 and 4. I think Henderson goes in round 2 at the somewhere in round 2. It could be late round 2. It could be anywhere. Just he's going to be in the second round. I might draft him in the second round, first pick.
Yeah,
he's an Ohio boy right there. Luke, let's go. Let's stay in the Big Ten. Caleb Johnson, an Iowa running back.
Big boy.
Big boy. He's big. He's downhill. He's north to south. Yeah. If you catch him going lateral, that's the thing is though Iowa runs like that type of scheme. They're big zone blocking, so like they want you getting in the hole, going north to south. Now, some teams you're gonna have to go out west or east to west. Can he do it? He didn't show a lot of that. And same with pass catching. Iowa doesn't really do that with the running back.
They don't really throw the ball at all. So
yeah, so this guy I'm very intrigued by. I think he can have a good career, and I'm actually rooting for him. It's just so much unknown because Iowa's so run heavy. What's he going to do at the next level when they're asking him to do more than just going, straight?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he didn't have to catch too many passes or had to pass block that much. So I don't know. He's big running back, so I'm sure he can pass block just fine. But it might take him some time to learn it because he usually when he's on the field, they just turn around and hand it to him and just let it be. Then it's kind of what Iowa does. They play. Ground and pound offense and play defense. That's what they do over there.
Yeah, it's just hard because like we said, like his pass catching, they didn't do too much of it, so it is an unknown. Now this is going to hurt you in fantasy, like when you're trying to draft them in dynasty leagues or even redraft leagues. Dynasty league, we're going to do episodes with these rookies because that's we have people that are actually like interested in that. But like when it comes to dynasty leagues, where do you draft Caleb Johnson? What's he going to be used by? What team even drafts him? Like that's the more important part is. What team would draft them? I mean,
once you get past this first 4 running backs, they can literally go to any team at that point. So you have no clue where they're going to go. I assume the Cowboys will grab one of these guys at some point.
Steelers don't have a second round pick. That's so they might have to wait till round unless they want to steal one. Like if Hampton goes past Denver, then they have to wait till rounds 3 and 4.
Yeah, because pretty much every team can use a running back. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have extras. So
I hope my team doesn't draft one. That's
you guys don't really need one. But
yeah, if we want a third one, that's cool. I mean, we have Bijan and Tyler Algier, 2,000-yard rushers. I mean, we don't need a running back. That's something that we might do though. That would be Luke the chaos at pick 15. We drafted Mario Hampton.
Yeah. Hey, him and Bijan would be a good 1-2 punch.
God, Algier probably the one out the door. Probably get some draft capital out of him. But yeah, that would be scary. I would just put him up. Hey, put him next to Penix, side by side, and just run 2 running back system. But no, Luke, is there any steal running backs that we did not mention? I know we mentioned the 4. Now there's a lot of names here still, like Damian Martinez. You have the kid from Kansas State, Giddens. I know you're about to say a name I'm waiting for right now. You can say it.
My boy RJ Harvey, dude's a stud. He was the UCF offense last year. That's all. We couldn't find a quarterback to throw the ball all season, and we still had a top offense. Terrible defense, but we still had one of the top offenses in the country with RJ Harvey. Even he'll lined up quarterback a few times. I mean, he can catch deep balls. He's a great pass catcher. I think he's probably one of the top pass catching running backs in this draft class. So I've seen a lot of comps to him, to Bucky Irvin. Pretty much similar size, build, stature, play style. He's physical running back when he needs to be, elusive. His 40 time was a little faster than people expected. I saw a lot of people calling him slow before, but his 40 time did not say he was slow.
Yeah, his burst too. When you watch him, especially on tape, you watch his burst and just his explosion going up the middle.
It's a hole.
The only problem with him at times is he likes to bounce it outside when he doesn't need to, and that can burn you. But if your O-line is, I'm not sure how UCF's O-line was this year.
Not great.
So that can cause that tendency. The last 3 seasons he averaged 6 yards per carry, plus every of those 3 seasons 6 yards per. He's an older running back. He's 24. That could knock him a little bit how high he goes. Because do you want a 24-year-old workhorse the last few years? That's the only really bad thing on him.
He has been the workhorse too. We just give him the ball and just let magic happen.
It's been
I
called
mean,
since 2019. So I mean, it is what it is. Now I don't think his wear and tear is too bad, but it could sway a little bit where maybe he goes late third, early fourth. But still, that's a steal. Like that right there is a steal to me. I like RG Harvey.
yeah.
That's 2
I
years in a
mean,
row. That's 2 years in a row. I've liked UCF skill players. I like the receiver last year too.
oh, Javon Baker.
Yeah,
Yeah. See when he finally started showing up at practice.
yeah.
He got a couple. He's played a couple games, but he didn't really do too much. But I mean, another steal I'm thinking is my boy Cam Scatterboo.
Oh yeah. He's a bowling
Yeah.
ball.
Yeah, you talk about a running back can stay on his feet. That dude's like you can't get on the ground. He just bounces off of players.
And he
I
showed
mean,
some pretty good catching ability too.
Yeah, he can catch. He can throw the football too.
He worked my boy Taffy on the in the Fiesta Bowl out there. He worked our
Yeah.
he got Taffy out there. It was very hard to bring him down. We had to legally bring him down. That
Yeah, but no, this dude is a stud. He's a physical guy, bounces off of everybody, and he's been doing it for like every school he's been at. I mean, he's not huge. He's 5'11", 215. Not super fast, but he has decent speed for his his size.
for his size.
But he is fucking strong. Like he is a strong dude. I feel like he gives 100% every play, so he's not taking plays off, especially when he has the ball in his hands. I mean, a lot of highlights of him just taking it to the house because he's just bouncing off players. So I mean, at the line of scrimmage, he's great at forcing missed tackles.
In the second half of the Texas game too, like I mean, he was the offense. He's what changed the game. He changed the game honestly, and I mean that's something. I mean, not to be biased because I'm a Longhorns fan, but if you do that against our rush defense, that to me is impressive. Like if you can do that against us, which we have big bodies. I mean, our D tackles and our pass rushers and linebackers, they're not small boys. Like they're like grown men in college. And if you can work that, that's impressive. And first half, obviously, I was not impressed at all. And I thought we would limit him. And the first half was what I was expecting a little bit, maybe not to that degree, but then the second half, it was a complete flip. And, I mean, he changed the game. I mean, that's impressive.
He did a bump of cocaine or something at halftime.
Yeah, he did something.
He woke up and he was working y'all. Like he made that a very competitive game at the end.
He brought it. I'm saying he was the heartbeat of that team. I know the quarterbacks. He's still there and he's the captain too and the leader. But Cam did change it a little bit.
Yeah, cool name too. Like Scatterboo.
Yeah, Scatterboo. I'm also high Luke on Damian Martinez from Miami. I liked him at Oregon State. I think he's a good running back. He kind of like disappeared a little bit at times. We still had 1,000 yards at Miami with Cam Ward, obviously, but I liked what he was. I was excited for him to go to Miami with Ward. I thought those were the two big difference makers coming into Miami season last year before the start of the school year. I like Damian Martinez. I think he's going to be a good 4th, 5th round running back for someone too.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many running backs in this class. Like, I mean, there's a bunch that we haven't even talked about.
Yeah, the Virginia Tech running back that I didn't even realize this guy was who he was. But I mean, everyone's high.
Yeah, we got Baby ETN. You got Ollie Gordon too.
You have Simpson from Tennessee.
Yeah, so I mean, they're just.
The only problem with Sampson is he was a backup to Jalen Wright, and then he was a 1-year starter, and he looked good. I mean, he was, in my opinion, the best player on Tennessee, especially on offense. So I mean, but like you said, like there's like you could honestly, if we just dedicated 2 hours to talk about running backs, we could spend 15, 20 names on guys. You have Neal from Kansas that people are high on. You have Giddens from Kansas State. I mean, you have so many guys that are out there that we haven't had a chance to talk about. And we'll talk about I want to be live round 2 as well. I think we're gonna get a lot of running backs in rounds 2 and 3. Not a lot, maybe, but I think a handful.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think by the end of round 3, at least 10 to 15 are gone.
Well, Luke, it's time to move on to the receivers. And I almost forgot about one guy when I was taking notes, but we're going to talk, in my opinion, the wide receiver 1 first, and we're going to talk Tet McMillan. Obviously, that's his nickname, but Luke, how do you feel about McMillan? A lot of people are saying he could fall outside the top 10. He was supposed to be wide receiver 1 all year long with Luther Burden, which we're going to talk about him. He kind of fell off a little bit this year, but Tet McMillan, I mean, in my opinion, the tape speaks for itself. I mean, he's a fucking dog. He's not the speedster you want. But, man, he's a competitive catcher. You yards after catch, surprisingly too. He is a freak, and I don't understand why people are dropping him out of their rankings, like the overall rankings.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, playing at Arizona. They don't get a lot of like love on TV, but the dude's 6'5". Like, come on, 6'5", like 215, 210.
Yeah.
Like, dude's a physical monster. He's only 21 still. He's about to be 22, I think. But still, this dude is a physical beast. If he gets it together, like if he starts watching film, I'm sure.
He said he watches film. He just watches it with others.
Yeah, he watches in the team meetings. That's what he does in the wide receiver room.
Yeah,
but I'm sure some veteran wide receiver take him under his wing and show him the ropes. But
I mean, he still had 1,300 yards, Luke, 8 touchdowns last year.
Yeah,
I know it's just Arizona.
I think he missed a few games too, didn't he?
Yeah, Dylan, we're going to talk Luther Bird in a minute, how the drop-off happened with him. He's probably going to be probably like the 4th or 5th receiver we talk about. What was that, Luke, though, you said?
I think he missed a couple games.
I can't remember, but like it's just like, dude, this guy's the perfect size. He's got the perfect frame. I don't know what more you want. Like I said, obviously he's not a speedster. He's not going to burn you. He doesn't cause separation. But
he'll get the 50-50 balls.
Yeah, his catch radius is unreal. It's some of the best in the class. I mean, I get it. Okay, does he say he doesn't like watching film by himself? Does he like watching football? No, he doesn't. But I mean, I'm telling you right now, like the only knock on him to me is he's not fast. Whatever. I could care less.
You can go get a fast guy.
Yeah.
Pair him up with him.
To me, he is a more explosive T. Higgins, and I love T. Higgins. I think T. Higgins was really great coming out of college. Obviously, was second rounder, I believe he was. This guy right here, Luke, I know New England got Stephon Diggs, and I know I would go offensive tackle, but I would still heavily think Ted McMillan. And if I'm the Jaguars, I'm thinking that too. Pair him with Brian Thomas. You'd be like a tower out there. 2 towers between him and Brian Thomas Jr. I don't think he needs to get past 10. I think if he's there at 9, the Saints could take him. If Shador's off the board, obviously, because that could trigger a potential quarterback pick.
It's hard to pick anybody at this point. Where you think they'll go?
Number 1's easy to me now.
After that, it starts getting tough. I think I got my top 3 pretty much figured out. Maybe 4. I don't know yet.
I had the top 3 figured out. I just don't know what order 2 and 3 is going to go.
Yeah.
That's all. Speaking of that, Luke, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're talking about Travis Hunter. What is Travis Hunter's role going to be? Like, what do you ultimately think? Do you think it's team dependent on where he's going to be? I know we're going to talk Travis Hunter twice during this breakdown. We're going to talk for him for secondary. But receiver-wise, what do you think he's going to do in the league?
Yeah. This really depends on, like, what team he goes to see what their biggest need is at the time. Like, if their biggest need is wide receiver, he might be a full-time wide receiver and play a little bit of DB. Or if he has to go be a DB, he might be a part-time wide receiver at first. I mean, he's still talking about he wants to do full-time both, but NFL is different than college.
I still think the Giants – I think the Giants, he can do it. Not like to that degree. I think, he can be cornerback 1 with the Giants. He'll take Deontay Banks' number 1 spot. And then with Malik Neighbors there, you don't need to be running or wide receiver 1. You could play like 65, 70% of the offensive snaps, coming on big plays, maybe like longer distance plays too to help Malik Neighbors out. And then that would be perfect for him. I think that's the perfect situation, honestly. Now, you guys talked me into it. I think the Giants is the perfect spot for him.
Yeah, plus, whenever Russ throws an interception, he can go tackle him too.
He can. And the moon ball too. Like, I mean, I think Hunter's a good receiver. I know Chris, he dogged him a lot, but I mean, he was top 10 in every statistical category.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was a good receiver too. I mean, he's a ball hawk. He makes some crazy catches too.
Like
the way he can bend his body and catch the ball is pretty crazy.
If he was a full-time receiver, I think he'd still be wide receiver too. But that's just because McMillan's a beast. I have him over Buka, Golden, Burden, Higgins. I have him as wide receiver 2 if it really came down to it.
Yeah, I mean, then you probably have him as cornerback 2 at least, or 3.
I think cornerback 1.
Yeah.
No, I think Barron's a better all-around like secondary member because he can go play safety as well with the corner. But if we're talking strictly corner, yeah, I'm going to go Travis Hunter. I don't think like it's because I like Hunter. I have liked Hunter, and I know I've defended him in the Discord. You've not backed me up as much. You did in the football season. But like, I'm not saying he has
Well,
to go.
I knew so many people in the Discord hated him, so I like to egg it on a little bit. I mean, I like Hunter too. I mean, I think he's a good player.
Like, I'm not saying like he has to go be an all-pro year one at either position to be not to be considered a draft bust. Like, I think he's going to have a good career. Is he going to go be, Deion Sanders, or is he going to go be Darrelle Revis? I mean, come on, like those are legends. Those are like literally bona fide studs. Like, but can he be like this Richard Sherman, someone that's pretty good still for a few years? Has a good career. Yeah, he could be that.
Yeah, I mean, especially if he can get to the point where he knows the playbook on offense, defense well enough that he can play both at a high level. I mean, that'd be great. I don't think he starts off that way. I think he's going to pick a side to be his priority, but maybe in like a season, a couple seasons, he knows offense, defensive playbooks so well. Especially if he's in a consistent franchise that's not changing like their offense, their coordinators or head coach every other year. If he's at a franchise that they're going to have some continuity at the coaching staff, I mean, they'll let him do his thing. I mean.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what the situation he goes to on draft night. Luke, we got mentioned, but Luther Burden III, he was supposed to be with McMillan. They had that 2023 campaign. Both of them were pretty good. They were really like they're being compared 1 and 2. Who's going to be the first one? Who's going to be the second one? I felt like Burden this year, and he came back a little bit down, back to earth. Not saying he had a terrible year, but I don't feel like he matched that 2023 campaign. And that maybe was also because Missouri didn't match that campaign either.
Yeah, I mean, Missouri took a step back. So, I mean, when teams take a step back, it kind of hurts the player's draft stock as well. But, I mean, he still probably will be a first-round wide receiver, probably mid to late round wide receiver.
He's just a true slot receiver. That's the problem, too. It's like, how high do you want to draft a true slot guy?
Yeah. So, I mean, he's 5'11", so he's not super tall. So the contested catches, he's probably going to struggle with a little bit. I don't remember seeing a 40 time for him. Not sure how fast he was. I don't know if he's going to take the top off the defense.
I have the pulled up right here. He ran a 40. He ran a 4.41 40.
So yeah, he's fast, but not crazy fast. I mean, his game speed might be a little bit different.
He's 6 foot, 205 pounds.
Oh.
And to answer your question about McMillan, he played 12 games, so I'm assuming he's out of the bowl game.
Yeah, okay. So it's, Arizona State must have been their wide receiver that missed a few games.
The only problem with Burden was, too, like he had a big drop issues. Last year, the rate came down. It was kind of like how Xavier Worthy was, how he had drop problems the first few years of his college career, and the last year he definitely came down. Same thing with Burden, like his drop rate definitely progressed. Progressed. It got way better than it was in 2023 and 2022. So that's a sign. Maybe it's coming back. But like I said, it's like, how high are you going to draft the guy that's spent 86% pretty much of the time at pass snaps at the slot position?
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't think he's a for sure number 2 wide receiver coming off the board. I think some of these wide receivers have made themselves some money doing the underpants Olympics.
Another thing, too, with him is when he gets pressed and jammed, he has a problem getting off that, too. I mean, that could be the size issue. I mean, he plays big when he's down the field, but to get off the line, if it's man-to-man, that's where he can struggle. I mean, zone, he's a freak. He has big plays. I like Burden. I just don't know how high I want to invest a pick in him. I don't know if I would want to go first round for Luther Burden, honestly. That's my thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure how I am, but like, say he's sitting around, pick 27, wouldn't be against it.
And all the pass rushers are gone. Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, why not take another first round wide receiver?
James Pierce is there and Luther Burden's there, and James Pierce is the last that tier pass rusher.
Yeah, James Pierce is going to be a Raven at that point.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
We'll figure his off the field issues out. We'll figure that out.
Ravens normally are good at coaching it. Luke, let's talk another Ohio State player. We've had 3 fucking Ohio State players. Emeka Egbuka, very good 2022 campaign. 2023, I was not as high on him. He had some problems. And I said he needs to challenge himself. He needs to challenge it to make me a believer. Luke, he had a pretty good 2024 campaign. Now, it also helps that last year, he had Jeremiah Smith. how do you feel about Emeka Egbuka out of Ohio State?
Yeah, I mean, he's an Ohio State wide receiver, so I mean,
That's
that
usually
just
good.
kind of that's usually pretty good. So you play wide receiver there, pretty good. Kind of sucks for him that they what's his name, the other receiver had such a good year.
Jeremiah Smith.
Jeremiah Smith, yeah. So it sucks that he had such a good year. Kind of put Mbuka in the back seat a little bit, but I mean, stud wide receiver. He's 6'1", 205. He can do it all pretty much at the wide receiver position. So I think he's gonna be a solid wide receiver. Probably same thing, mid to late first round pick.
Another thing with him too is like, so he's kind of like 50-50. He does spend a little more time in the slot, but he definitely can play outside. Luke, another knock on him though is, I mean, I don't count as a knock. His yak after the catch, anything after the catch, he's pretty much either getting tackled or he's going out of bounds right away. He's not usually the guy that's going to fight for extra yards. He's not getting those extra yards, but man, his route running is crisp. I mean, he definitely tracks the deep ball pretty well. His over the shoulders is very phenomenal. I like him. I think maybe like a team like the Packers, if they would finally draft a wide receiver, he would maybe fit there. I mean, I like Egbuka. It's just hard because like the back end of the draft is like, who needs wide receiver? I mean, the Chargers could use one, but are they going to waste that pick on receiver? They don't normally do with Jim Harbaugh. I mean, Chargers don't do it in general. Dylan said Egbuka going to be a Niners legend. Yeah, I guess. I mean, they got Pearsall, Juwan Jennings, and Ayuk. And Ayuk, I guess, has a deadline. His situation.
I think the Niners have more issues than just wide receiver in the first round, though.
They have trenches on both sides, and then corner as well. They definitely need corner.
They lost a bunch of their defense.
Yeah, I don't know about the Niners. I would like him with Jim Harbaugh. I've been like trying to convince myself to take him in the mock draft, but it's like it goes against what he normally does. I mean, we saw him take Ladd McConkey in the second round last year, so like that's where I feel like maybe he does another tight or tight end too.
Or I mean, they could do a running back.
That too.
So say Hampton's there at their pick.
But that goes against what I'm going to say about him. Denver's not passed on him, so I want Hampton going there. I think that the Chargers are ultimately going to go running back in like the third or fourth round somewhere. Tight end, I can see them. We're going to talk tight ends in a minute. I can see Loveland going there. But I once again, Harbaugh doesn't draft tight ends high. I mean, he never did in San Francisco. Vernon Davis was already there. So Egbuka to me would be fun to watch him, Ladd, and Quentin Johnston play together. I would love to see that.
Yeah. Oh, we know how Harbaugh's built teams. You build it from the trenches and build out. So, I mean, his priority is not going to be the skill players as much.
Well, the O-line's pretty set. They need D-line. They need D-line.
Yeah, they could use a couple guys. I mean, they still have a solid defense overall. But they didn't lose too many players. I mean, they lost both running backs. So, but they got Najee Harris. So you get his compliment, and you get another receiver or a tight end, and this team looks pretty good. Just got to get not to fuck it up.
Yes, Manuel. We do baseball Sunday nights episodes. We did one. Go back on YouTube, man. Go back on YouTube. Me and Jake, we did a baseball episode for about 50 minutes. Every Sunday night, we're going to do that. We're not going to say go Dodgers here. No one on the show is a Dodgers fan. We don't support them. Even Luke doesn't support them. He doesn't watch baseball.
Goes.
I'm actually going to O's game, Luke, this Friday night with my cousin Dylan. We're going to be sitting in the left field at Camden Yards.
Yeah, it's sweet stadium.
Right across from the bank. Yeah, I heard everyone says it's one of the top like 3 or 4 stadiums, like ballparks in the MLB.
Yeah, I mean it's great. It's right in downtown, so I liked it. I haven't been in a while, but when I went, it was super nice.
First time, my first time in the yard out there in Camden Yards. I love ballparks, man. I'll just go in general, man. It's something I didn't say go. No one's saying go Dodgers on here, but Luke, let's talk Matthew Golden. His stock has climbed since the combine.
He ran fast.
4.29. I liked Golden last year. I mean, you know that. I liked him. The only problem is that Texas was so like our offense isn't prime. It's weird. Our offense is a very weird offense in general. It's a pro style, but it has a lot of gadget plays and all this shit. Golden, I thought, was a great route runner. he's very competitive catches. Like, I mean, he makes some crazy catches out there. He can have some drop issues. His play didn't have the speed as 40 did. Like his game speed, I feel like he kind of how like, I mentioned last year how Mitchell played lazy on purpose. Matthew Golden doesn't play lazy on purpose. He manipulates his speed. Like there's plays designed to run fast to keep them on their heels. Designed plays not to do that. I like Golden. I don't know. Do you think he is wide receiver too? Like everyone's saying he could be.
I don't know because like he just came up like big at the end of the season. Like it used to be like Isaiah Bond was the big guy at Texas, and Golden. I don't know what happened with Bond. He just kind of fell off at the end of the season, and Golden
Not a
stepped
fan
in.
of him.
Well, he dropped a couple passes for you. So,
he also just played lazy too. I felt like he played lazy. Yeah. He was hurt too.
Yeah, Golden looked like he played hard. Chris route runner. I mean, solid hands. So and he's fast, real fast. So I mean, it's definitely the combine definitely helped his draft stock quite a bit.
Yeah, that's that. Well, Bond said he's in the top.
Yeah, that dude's talking shit for no reason. Wasn't even close to breaking the record.
And homeboy ran a 4.29 second 40 time in the class, I think, behind the corner from Kentucky. Luke, the other thing too, the run blocking he can improve on, but like I don't think teams are going to knock too hard on the run blocking.
I mean, I think he's probably a pretty good slot wide receiver. I don't know how much he played on the edge, on the outside at Texas, but
I feel like he played everywhere. But because him and Wingo would kind of go back and forth with where they're at.
Like I think he could be a solid like number 2 wide receiver on the team. You pair him up with some top tier number 1 wide receiver and have him maybe playing the slot or on the flanking the other side of one of these top wide receivers.
Do you think Pittsburgh? I mean, I'm not talking about just for him, like Buka, Pittsburgh. Do you think Burden too? You think Pittsburgh would take another wide receiver in the first round?
That's tough because like they got DK and Pickens. I don't know who they have now at their
Calvin Austin. He had a decent year. He had a decent year, but like, I mean, he's not a big name.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so. I think.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know what Pittsburgh's going to do. Pittsburgh's been pretty bad at the draft in the past few years, so they're probably fucking up.
I'm having a weird feeling, like if we're not counting Hunter as a wide receiver, I have a feeling we're only going to get 2 or 3 receivers in the first round.
Yeah, the receivers, the class is not that great this year, I feel. I mean, there's some solid talent, but no world beaters really.
Yeah. Well, Luke, let's go to the tight ends. Tyler Warren. My opinion, he reminds me of George Kittle.
World beater right here.
Yeah, so like his blocking got better this year. That was a knock he had going into the season. Definitely improved that situation. But man, this kid right here, he'll fight for yards. He can throw the ball. You mentioned RJ Harvey. This guy can throw the ball. I mean, he's strong. He's physical. He is very smart. Very, very good at burst acceleration. He's very quick for his size and all that. I like Warren. He was supposed to be tight end 2 behind Loveland, which we'll talk about in a second. And I still think it could be Loveland because Loveland's blocking is more ideal for the league.
Yeah, but Tyler Warren's more of that more of the Brock Bowers type wide receiver. It's probably get a bunch of catches. I mean, he blocks well too. Tyler Warren could do it all. I mean, he was a stud at Penn State. He was a problem for defenses. So I mean, I felt like anytime they were throwing the ball, it was probably going 44's way.
Yeah, just about every time. And then we have Loveland too, Luke. I mean, he was supposed to be tight end 1 going into the season, and I still think he could be. There might be teams that love him. Like I said, he's that same style. Like he's a little thin.
Jim might grab him.
He might. I mean, Warren. We don't know where Warren's going to fall. Like we think the Colts are probably the spot for him, but Loveland could be there too. It could be Loveland that actually goes first. The only problem is he just needs that little muscle. He's a little thin frame, but he's a freak. He's like you mentioned Warren catching the passes. This was the other guy, or this was the guy in Michigan that was catching passes too.
Yeah, I think pretty much for the tight ends, it's these 2, then everybody else.
Yeah, anybody else
for the most part. After that, you're just throwing kind of darts at a wall at a guy that might be good or might not be good.
The Bowling Green. You have the guy from Bowling Green. I know Mason Taylor from LSU. They've been talked about. I saw the Falcons, Luke. The Bowling Green tight end, which is Harold Fannin Jr. I've seen the rumors the Falcons could take him second round and then move on from Kyle Pitts. I hope we don't get tight end that early. I'd rather just wait. But
This is one position I think the Ravens don't draft.
yeah, you have Andrews and Likely. I don't think you'll really need a tight end.
And Kohler. So,
Yeah,
I think we're
yeah.
okay.
Well, Luke,
They're on their last year of their contracts, so
yeah.
all of them.
Before we close it out, any names pass catcher wise? You know how we did running backs. Any steals? I like Jaden Higgins. I think out of Iowa State, you know, he's kind of like a McMillan, not obviously as the skill isn't there as much, but I mean he's 6'4", 215. His hands is one of the best pure hands in the league. His route running, he only really ran 3 routes, but they were crisp routes. It's just we don't know how full the route tree is with him. I liked him, man. I thought what I saw from Iowa State, he's very smart when it comes to the zone coverage. He knows where to find that grass and just plant too if he needs to. He's very high IQ football player at Iowa State.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go another hometown pick, Kobe Hudson at UCF. I think he'll be drafted fairly late in the draft, day 3, probably maybe 6th round. It's because we didn't have a quarterback last year. I mean, he came back to improve his draft stock, and his draft stock only went down just because KJ Jefferson found out he was not the guy. Then the other 3 quarterbacks we started were also not the guy. But he's got all the physical traits you want from a wide receiver. 6'1", 200. Couple issues with drops. I mean, he can get his hands together. He's a big time playmaker. So I mean, some team gets him like the 6th round.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, he'll be a stud because he was going to go to the draft the same year as Baker, and he would have been drafted pretty much right behind Baker, maybe round after him. But he wanted to be a 1st round pick, but
that didn't work out.
It did not work out at all. It just got worse for him. But he's fast, strong. He can make the big time plays. He's one of those wide receivers that drops the easy catches. One of those guys.
Yeah, concentration drops, and that's all that is. Another name, Restrepo from Miami. Yeah, he's a slot receiver, but people are knocking him for his speed. He's 40.
Yeah, he said they don't matter.
It's hard to be a slot receiver and not have speed. That's the only thing I don't like. Is if you're a receiver, typically you have a good bout of it. Like a lot of his stuff's intermediate passes too. Like he's not normally going up the field catching it. It's normally
I mean he had a big time season though. So
it felt like
he also had Cam Ward throwing the ball.
I felt like he was at Miami forever. Like it's kind of like Jeff Dimps out of Florida. Like I just felt like those guys somehow were there for 10 years. Now obviously they weren't, but it just felt that way. Like Trey Harris too, Ole Miss receiver Trey Harris. People were talking about him too. Luke is like wide receiver 5 or 6. That could
I can see him probably being a day 2, early day 3 pick.
His problem is he just didn't get a lot of opportunities till last year. So it's just
Jackson Dart finally came on. Woke up.
I'm not a Jackson Dart fan. So
I like Dart. I think he's a prototypical quarterback, but we're to talk to them.
Yeah, we talked to him. We'll talk to them when we do the mock draft. Could sneak in our mock drafts, Luke. Well, Luke, good episode tonight. We are, like I said, 22 days away. We still have secondary and we still have pass rushers. That's probably going to be both episodes next week. And then, no, because actually, we'll have part of episode next week for it. And then we'll do an episode the following week. And then we'll do our official mock draft. And then we'll have the NFL draft, Luke.
Yeah, I'm still waiting on some of these free agency things that happen to see what I'm going to do in mock draft. I'm starting to get it figured out, but it's tough, like because you have no clue.
Yeah, it really is. What I'm going to do is April 20th. It's Sunday. It's also WrestleMania night 2. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my mock draft probably at like 4 p.m. Whatever I fucking do. I'm not going to tinker on Monday. I'm going to take a picture of it. I'm going to write it down, and I'm done. I'm not going to look at it no more. Or I'm going to do it Monday right before the draft, actually, our mock draft.
I don't think any of our mock drafts are going to be anywhere close to what happens. Kind of like what happened last year.
Yeah, like I said, you guys got 7 right was the most. I think
7 out of 32.
I think I was at 4. I think I was 4. Yeah, you and I think Chris had 7. I think Doc had like 6, and then I had 4, and Jake and Alan had 3.
Yeah, hopefully I can get more than 7 this year. If I can get 10, I feel like I'm pretty successful in this draft.
I would take 7 or 8 this year. I think that's a good number. If you give me 25% accuracy out of this class, that's a win to me. That grading curve goes up. That 25%.
Yeah.
I'm grading
Especially
that up.
this class. It's a tough
Yeah.
class because it's a lot of level playing fields for some of these guys. No clear standouts for positions or clear needs for some of these teams and what they're going to do. Especially because there's not as many quarterbacks too. So that first round talents, the quarterbacks make it a little bit easier unless your team reaches on a quarterback like the Falcons did.
I feel like that I feel like we're going to see a lot of pass rushers, defensive linemen, some offensive linemen, and I mean, like that's it. I feel like half the draft,
the big boys are coming off early.
Because like last year, we didn't have a first defensive player until pick 15 last year.
Yeah, something like that. Because Falcons passed on them.
Yeah, and then like it changed the board for everybody else. I think we might see like 3 or 4 in the top 10, maybe 4 or 5.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think first round to be defensive heavy on this one.
You have Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter counts as both, I guess, and then you have Mason Graham. He's going to fall somewhere. That's 3 right there off the top of my head. And you're going to probably have
these pass rushers. Yeah, you probably have at least 5 pass rushers come off the board in the first round.
Yeah, like Walker's there. You have
at least 5, if not more. Maybe probably closer to 7 pass rushers.
Williams, James Pierce, Shamar Stewart. You have Jahan Campbell at linebacker. I mean, kind of counts both. And then like I said, defense interior too. You have Harmon. You have Tyreek Williams. You have Walter Nolan. Like there's some. This is a defensive draft. Like if you want to get your trenches right, this is the draft probably.
That's what the Bengals need to do with every single pick.
What's that you said earlier? There, what franchise?
It's poverty.
I really thought you were gonna. When I asked you that, I was hoping it was going to be like more ruthless. That's what I was trying to get out of you. Was like,
oh sure,
rip them. I was out of the gym when I was running on the treadmill. And I saw that and I was waiting. I had to like set it up. But Luke, great episode tonight. Like I said, next week we'll be back in here to do the same thing. We'll probably do the secondary, or I don't know which one we're going to do first, but we'll figure it out. And then Sunday night, myself and Jake will possibly be in here for some more baseball talk. Maybe see what's going on with the torpedo bats. It's kind of calming down a little bit because now everyone's starting to do it. And the Dodgers and Padres kicking ass. They're the 2 hottest teams, both in the NL West. So, yeah, we'll see what's going on. And then on my way to Maryland next week. Luke, great episode. Can't wait to be back here Sunday night and next week. That's Luke Rule. I'm Mark Davis. This is All At The Balls Podcast. Have a great night. See you guys Sunday.